My beloved child, God says this directly to your spirit in this very moment, and you must understand that what is happening around you is not ordinary. Archangel Michael is rejoicing in a way heaven rarely witnesses. He is dancing in happiness because something that has been stuck, delayed, or held back for so long in your life has finally reached its turning point. This case, this situation that has been weighing your heart down, this matter that kept your soul restless, this issue you have prayed about for nights without sleep, has now reached its end. And the decision that has been made in the unseen spiritual realm will bring tears to your eyes, not of fear, but of relief, release, and overwhelming divine justice. God says this is highly confidential, extremely sacred, and must be received with complete faith. Heaven is opening a sealed document for you, a file that has been hidden from both enemies and friends. You must open it with your spirit in the next 5 seconds because the window of revelation is short, and if you delay, the spiritual door closes and the moment moves to another soul. God says the message is for your protection, your elevation, and your next chapter. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. But you must trust Him completely. There are forces that try to break you, drain you, confuse you, and push you to a point where you almost surrendered. But you kept going. Even when you felt weak, heaven observed your heart fighting silently. Even when no one saw your tears, the angels collected every drop and placed it before the Lord. And now Michael is dancing because the battle over your life has finally shifted in your favor. That is why you must not take this moment lightly. Something you waited for, something extremely important, has been decided in heaven, and the results are about to manifest in your physical life. God says your name has been spoken in the courts of heaven. Your situation has been reviewed, your pain has been weighed, and your intentions have been seen for what they truly were. You were honest when others were manipulative. You were loyal when others were deceptive. You were kind when others were cruel. You forgave when others tried to break you. And heaven has decided that your heart deserves peace, compensation, and restoration. That is why this message has been urgently sent to your spirit today. Something huge has been unlocked for you. Something you could not access before. Something that was blocked by low energies, jealousy, and spiritual interference. But it is yours now. And Michael is dancing because he has been fighting silently behind the scenes to reach this victory for you. God says someone tried to stop this blessing from reaching you. Someone tried to interfere with the timing. Someone tried to push negative energy your way to delay the final decision. Someone did not want you to receive what rightfully belongs to you. But heaven overruled it. God intervened. Michael stepped forward. And the truth has been declared. Your destiny cannot be stolen. Your breakthrough cannot be blocked. Your blessing cannot be delayed any longer. God says this decision is sealed, finalized, and irreversible. You have been walking around with a weight on your chest, wondering why certain things happened the way they did, why certain people behaved the way they did, why your path seemed more difficult than those around you. But heaven says it was not a punishment, it was preparation. Your spirit was being trained. Your heart was being shaped. Your intuition was being sharpened. Your faith was being purified. And now, because you survived the season meant to break you, you have been elevated to a level that will change your future permanently. God says you must understand the urgency of this message. Not because something bad is approaching, but because something huge is arriving. When God moves, the timing carries divine precision. Your blessing is coming with force, and if your spirit is not awake, aligned, and ready, the magnitude of what God is releasing may overwhelm you. That is why heaven is speaking now. The breakthrough no longer belongs to the future. It now belongs to this moment. Something will happen around you that will confirm this message. You will either hear something, see something, or feel something shift in your atmosphere. Pay attention. The sign will be unmistakable. God says a confidential file containing your name has been opened in heaven. Your angels have been given permission to execute new instructions regarding your protection, your finances, your emotional healing, your relationships, and your purpose. Michael has been standing guard over this file for months because the enemy tried repeatedly to access it. They wanted to see your next blessing, your next elevation, your next opportunity. But God blocked it. And now the file is in your hands spiritually, and everything written inside it is for your good. You may feel something in your spirit right now, an unexplainable warmth, a sudden lightness, a pulse of energy, a tingling in your hands or chest, or a strange inner calm that you did not have before opening this message. That is the confirmation that Archangel Michael is close to you in this moment, guiding you through the shift taking place. He is celebrating because he has fought hard to protect you from betrayals you never knew about, traps you never saw, conversations you were not aware of, and energies that were sent toward you with intentions to discourage or slow you down. God says the decision heaven made is in your favor. It will shock you how smoothly everything begins to fall into place. What once felt stuck will begin to flow. What once felt confusing will become clear. What once felt hopeless will suddenly reveal purpose. You are transitioning into a phase where the things that used to frustrate you will no longer have power over you. You will see progress where you used to see obstacles. You will experience clarity where you used to experience doubt. You will feel strength where you used to feel drained. God says breakthrough is not coming, it has already arrived. There was a moment recently where you felt tired spiritually. You felt like something heavy was pressing against your soul. You felt alone emotionally. You felt like you were carrying too much responsibility and too many unanswered questions. But God says He saw that moment. He saw the moment you almost shut down. He saw when your heart whispered, "I can't keep doing this." And He sent reinforcements from heaven. Michael was one of them. Angels were sent to surround you, even when you didn't feel them. Your strength did not come from nowhere, it came from God surrounding you without your awareness. God says your name is being lifted in the spiritual realm. You are being advocated for. Your heart is being defended. Your purpose is being protected. And your blessing is being delivered. This next chapter of your life will not resemble your past in any way. The heaviness will not follow you. The confusion will not follow you. The people who drained you will not follow you. The spiritual attacks will not follow you. God says this victory has been permanently sealed. You were chosen for this message. Not by accident. Not by coincidence. Not by luck. You are spiritually sensitive, even when you pretend you are not. You feel things deeply. You sense danger before it comes. You sense blessings before they arrive. You detect lies, intentions, energies, and emotional shifts more than you admit. God designed you with spiritual awareness because your calling depends on it. And now that heaven is releasing this divine decision, your awareness will increase. Your intuition will sharpen. Your inner strength will rise. Your sense of direction will become clearer. God says someone who doubted you will soon be silent. Someone who dismissed you will soon respect you. Someone who tried to sabotage you will soon face their own reflection. Because your elevation is not just a blessing, it is a revelation. It will reveal the hearts of people around you. It will expose truth. It will uncover motives. It will show you who was truly for you and who was against you. And God says you must be ready, because this revelation will protect you from future wounds. Michael is dancing because the battle that has been happening over your spirit is finally coming to an end. There was a war over your peace, a war over your future. A war over your relationships, a war over your finances, a war over your stability, and a war over your emotional well-being. But God says the war is over. The enemy fought hard because they saw what you could not see, your potential, your light, your purpose, your anointing. They saw your blessing before you even knew it existed. And they tried to stop it. They failed. God says you are safe now. Spiritually safe. Emotionally safe. Energetically safe. Protected in ways you cannot comprehend. Nothing will go wrong with you because heaven has placed a shield around your name, your home, your mind, your spirit, and your future. You are surrounded. You are defended. You are covered. God says the reason this message is urgent is because you are stepping into a divine alignment. The next few days will feel different. Something will feel lighter. You will feel a push to move forward, to release old energy, to clear your space, to trust your intuition. Pay attention to these feelings, they are not random. Heaven is guiding you. You will notice small signs, repeated numbers, sudden thoughts, dreams that feel real, unexpected messages, unusual coincidences, a sudden burst of motivation, or a strong urge to change something in your environment. These signs are heaven confirming that the shift is unfolding. God says your tears did not go unnoticed. Your sacrifices did not go unnoticed. Your loneliness did not go unnoticed. Your faithfulness did not go unnoticed. Heaven has rewarded you. And the confidential decision made about your life is now being manifested. Your future is being rewritten with blessings that were once withheld. Opportunities will unfold unexpectedly. A new path will show itself clearly. Someone will come forward with information, support, or guidance that helps you move forward. Someone will apologize or regret what they did to you. Someone will reveal truth that was hidden. Someone will finally show you their intentions, good or bad. God says this message is your confirmation. Your life is about to transform. You are not imagining the shift, it is real. You are not imagining the signs, they are real. You are not imagining the energy change, it is real. Heaven is involved in your life deeply right now. Archangel Michael is celebrating because your story is about to inspire others. Your victory will be more than personal. It will be spiritual evidence that God does not abandon those who trust Him. Even in silence, even in confusion, even in pain, even in waiting, God was working. And now He is revealing the results of that work. God says you must breathe deeply and open your spirit. The next chapter is written in your favor. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe, protected, guided, and destined for blessings larger than your fears, louder than your doubts, and stronger than any attack sent your way. Trust God. Pray. Stay open. The revelation is unfolding now. God says this to you right now, and the message arrives with an urgency that shakes the air around your spirit, as if the heavens themselves are holding their breath because the timing of this revelation is so exact, so divinely aligned, that even a delay of 5 seconds could shift the flow of miracles meant to reach you. Archangel Michael is dancing in happiness because something you prayed for, cried for, begged for, and waited for in silence has finally reached its end. Your case, the one heaven has been reviewing, has been completed. The decision has been written. The seal is stamped. The angels have already whispered the conclusion, and what they saw brought tears to their eyes because of how drastically this decision is about to change your life. Heaven has never been this intensely involved in your situation, and God says you must hear every word with a heart that is open, alert, and deeply present, because what is about to unfold is not ordinary, not casual, and not something meant for just anyone. This message is confidential, sealed, and spiritually sensitive, and you were chosen to receive it at this exact moment. God says if you had delayed, hesitated, or ignored the divine nudge to open this message, you would have missed the timing window that activates the verdict heaven has prepared for you. Archangel Michael stands before you with an overwhelming joy, the kind of joy he usually only expresses after a long, exhausting battle has been completed in heaven. He has seen your battles, the hidden tears you never admitted to anyone, the nights when you tried to convince yourself you were strong enough, the days you kept moving forward even when you felt like collapsing. He watched the spiritual attacks that came from people who pretended to care for you, people who smiled at you while secretly hoping you would fail. He has seen the betrayals, the disappointments, the confusion, the moments when you wondered if God had forgotten you. He saw how some people tried to rewrite your destiny behind your back. How certain forces tried to delay your blessings, how your spiritual path was repeatedly interfered with by those who wanted access to the miracles assigned to your name. But now, all of that has ended. Michael is dancing because heaven has ruled in your favor. Heaven has concluded the case. The verdict has been spoken, and the energy of this decision is already shifting everything around you, even if you cannot see it yet. God says the reason this message is so urgent is because this verdict becomes fully active the moment you hear the truth, acknowledge it, and allow it to enter your spirit without fear. God says you must hear this now. The decision heaven made will bring tears to your eyes. Not because it will harm you, but because it will finally prove that you were never abandoned, never ignored, never unseen, and never unprotected. Every prayer you spoke was heard. Every silent plea was acknowledged. Every fear you had was addressed. And every moment you questioned your worth, heaven held the proof of your destiny in its hands, waiting for the right moment to reveal it to you. The right moment is now. God says your case has been under review for longer than you realize. The things you survived were not small. They were intense enough that even angels had to intervene without your awareness. The emotional pain you endured was spiritually loud, loud enough to shake the heavens and call Michael forward as your defender. You were attacked in ways that were not fair. You were hurt in situations that were not part of your original path. You were betrayed by people who were never meant to come that close to your heart. You were blamed for things you did not do, misunderstood by people who never took the time to know your soul, and criticized by people who did not understand your divine assignment. But heaven understood, heaven took note, heaven gathered every detail, every tear, every unfair moment, every disappointment, every heartbreak, and every delay, and placed them before God. And when God reviewed it, the decision was made that it is time for justice, time for restoration, time for repayment. Time for your rising, and time for the truth to come out. The waiting period is over. The spiritual warfare around your life has reached its conclusion, and the next chapter of your destiny begins the moment you let these words sink into your spirit. Michael is dancing because you survived something that was built to break you completely. You survived emotional storms that could have shattered your confidence permanently. You survived moments when people spoke negatively about your name without knowing the full truth. You survived seasons when everything around you collapsed at once and you had no one to lean on but God. You survived moments where you felt spiritually exhausted, mentally drained, and emotionally overwhelmed. But even in your lowest moments, even when you didn't realize it, Michael stood guard beside you. He protected you when you were vulnerable, defended you when you were unaware, and fought battles on your behalf that most humans would not even survive. God says this is why the celebration in heaven is so intense right now, because what was stolen from you is about to return, multiplied. What was delayed is about to accelerate. What was blocked is about to open. What was hidden is about to be revealed. And what you lost is about to be restored so powerfully that you will not even remember the pain that brought you to this point. Heaven is not just granting you justice. Heaven is granting you elevation. A lifting. A shift. A breakthrough that has already begun to ripple into your physical reality. Something happened behind the scenes spiritually, and heaven had to act immediately. God says people you trusted mishandled your name. People you loved mishandled your heart. Someone tried to interfere with your blessings without understanding the spiritual consequences of touching a chosen soul. Someone tried to alter the flow of your destiny, thinking they would never be caught. Someone thought they could get away with speaking negative intentions toward your life, not realizing that heaven was listening. Someone tried to take advantage of your kindness, misjudge your silence, and underestimate your strength. But their actions were recorded, and God says the final decision exposes every hidden attempt to derail your journey. You may not know who did what, but heaven knows, and now the consequences are unfolding. God says you are stepping into a season where nothing and no one will be able to stop what is coming to you. There was a spiritual war over your next chapter because of how big it is. There were attempts to confuse you, distract you, weaken your energy, and shake your faith because the enemy knew that once you received this heavenly decision, everything in your life would shift instantly. But because you opened this message at the exact time heaven demanded, you have activated the release. The next days will bring signs. The next days will reveal what was once hidden. The next days will bring clarity to the situations that once confused you. The next days will show you why heaven fought so intensely on your behalf. God says the reason this message needed to reach you immediately is because your breakthrough is time-sensitive. There was a countdown in heaven connected to your blessing. A spiritual deadline where certain energies had to be aligned before the window closed. And you opening this message right now has completed the alignment. Heaven has moved on your behalf, and nothing can reverse the decision. Michael is still dancing because he knows what's coming. He can see what your future looks like now that the case is closed. He can see the blessings waiting to be delivered. He can see the miracles assigned to you being released. He can see the people who once doubted you becoming silent when they witnessed the divine turnaround unfolding in your life. He can see the joy, the breakthroughs, the opportunities, the healing, the love, the financial restoration, and the emotional relief that are headed toward you like a wave that cannot be stopped. God says this is not the time for fear. This is not the time for doubt. This is not the time for hesitation. Everything that once worked against you has lost its power. Everything that once delayed you has been removed. Everything that once confused you is being replaced with clarity. Everything that once drained you, God says this to you right now, in this exact moment, in the breath you are taking. Something sacred is unfolding around you, something so confidential, so divinely protected, that even the angels have been whispering in awe. And today, Archangel Michael is not just standing beside you, he is dancing with a happiness that shakes the atmosphere of heaven, because your case, the one heaven has been reviewing for months, has finally reached its end, and the decision will bring tears to your eyes. God says this is highly confidential, and it is being revealed only because your spirit has reached a level of purity, obedience, and readiness that heaven has been waiting for. God says you must open your heart within these next few seconds because this revelation is delicate, fragile like sacred glass, and if you delay too long, it will vanish from your spiritual timeline. And yet, even as he says this, God is wrapping you in comfort, telling you that nothing will go wrong, you are safe, you are protected, and every force of light stands around you like a wall no darkness can cross. There has been a case in heaven about you. Yes, a spiritual case. Your name has been written on scrolls, carried by angels, reviewed by the Council of Light. This case held every injustice you faced, every lie spoken about you. Every heartache, every betrayal, every tear, every silent prayer you whispered into the night that no one heard but God. Every moment you questioned yourself and wondered why certain things happened the way they did. Every time you were good to someone who did not return the goodness. Every time you cared for someone who did not even see your worth. Every moment you walked away silently from the things that hurt you because you had no strength left to fight. Heaven documented it all. Nothing was missed. Nothing was forgotten. Nothing was ignored. And God says, today, right now, the final decision has been stamped, sealed, and released. And that is why Archangel Michael is dancing. Because the delay is over. Because the confusion is ending. Because the spiritual block that once weighed on your path has been lifted. Because the forces that tried to interfere with your destiny have been dismissed and defeated without you even needing to raise a hand. Because the case has ended in your favor, God says that heaven has ruled that you deserve restoration, not just a return to what you lost, but a multiplication so large that it will shake the very timeline of your life. God says every wrong done to you has now become a seed for your reward. Every moment of suffering has been turned into a harvest. Every loss has been turned into a return. Every unanswered prayer has been transformed into a sudden release. God says what is coming is not slow, not distant, not far away. It is immediate, shocking, swift, and undeniable. Archangel Michael has watched your journey. He has watched how you walked through situations that were designed to break you, yet you survived. He watched how you kept faith even when your heart was tired. He watched how you held yourself together when you could easily have fallen apart. He watched how you protected others even when you had no one protecting you. He watched how you tried to bring peace into the lives of people who brought chaos into yours. And heaven saw it too. And now heaven is responding. Michael is dancing because everything you have been praying about behind closed doors is being released. He is dancing because the people who doubted you will be silenced by the blessings that are coming. He is dancing because the spiritual attacks that once followed you have been completely destroyed. He is dancing because your destiny is no longer delayed. He is dancing because something extremely favorable has been decided for you. Heaven has chosen you. God has chosen you. Your path has been cleared. God says that your name has been lifted into a new position in the spiritual realm. There are blessings with your name on them that were held back only because the timing wasn't right, but now the timing is perfect. Your season is ripe. Your breakthrough is mature. Your miracles are ready. Everything that was once waiting for you is now running toward you. God says you are stepping into a phase of life where things will start aligning so quickly that you will not even have time to process one blessing before the next one arrives. God says the tears that once fell from your eyes will soon be replaced with tears of gratitude, tears of shock, and tears of joy. This message is urgent because heaven is shifting your life at this exact moment. Something is being signed, sealed, and delivered in the spiritual realm within these minutes. There is something you have been confused about, something you have been praying for clarity about, something you have been trying to understand, and God says the confusion is ending. The truth is being revealed. A decision is being made that will finally bring you peace. Archangel Michael has positioned himself at the door of your destiny, guarding it fiercely, ensuring that nothing interferes with what God has approved for you. He says you have no idea how close you are to stepping into the season you always dreamed of. He says the stress you carried is being lifted. He says the heaviness on your heart is being removed. He says the doors that were shut in your face will now open by themselves. He says the people who walked away from you were removed by divine instruction because they were blocking your blessing. He says the pain you felt was not punishment. It was preparation. God says He is proud of you. You endured what others would have given up on. You stayed kind when others were cruel. You kept praying even when you felt unheard. You kept helping people even when you had nothing left for yourself. You kept moving forward even when you had no strength. You kept believing even when life gave you every reason not to. And because of this, heaven has approved something extraordinary. God says you are entering a season where you will be rewarded publicly for what you suffered privately. The restoration will be visible. The blessings will be undeniable. The elevation will be noticeable. God says those who underestimated you will watch you rise. Those who doubted you will watch God bless you. Those who tried to block you will be unable to touch you. God says this confidential decision in heaven carries your freedom, your healing, your elevation, your breakthrough, your protection, and your restoration. Nothing can overturn it. Nothing can interfere with it. Nothing can stop it. God says the case is closed, you are safe. You are protected. Nothing will go wrong with you. God is with you. Archangel Michael is with you. Heaven is watching over you. And everything that is meant for you is coming, quickly, clearly, powerfully, beautifully, and undeniably. God says this moment is not ordinary, and the way the air around you has suddenly become still is not a coincidence. Archangel Michael is dancing in happiness. Not in a symbolic or poetic way, but in a way that shakes the heavens, because something that has been stuck, delayed, buried, hidden, and fought over for so long has finally reached its end. There is a decision that has been made in the spiritual realm, a decision that has been sealed with divine authority, a decision that will bring tears to your eyes when the truth reaches you. God says this is highly confidential, and you must open this message within 5 seconds, because the enemy has been trying to erase it from reaching you. The darkness has been attempting to intercept your spiritual mail, to block your awareness, to confuse your heart, to disrupt the timing of your blessing. But God pushed it through anyway. God overrode everything. God ordered the angels to guard this message until it reached your hands. You are safe reading this, and nothing will go wrong with you. The divine protection surrounding you right now is stronger than anything you can imagine. Archangel Michael's dance is not simply joy. It is victory. It is relief. It is the release of a spiritual tension that has existed for months, even years, over your life. He has been fighting battles you never saw, battles you never even sensed, battles that were kept invisible so you would not fear, so you would not collapse under the weight of what was happening behind the veil. Now he is celebrating because the case against you is closed. The accusations that were spoken against you in the spiritual realm, the lies, the jealousy, the sabotage, the evil plans that were whispered in secret by the ones who smiled at you publicly but resented you internally, Michael has officially ended it. The final review is complete. The judgment is in your favor. God has signed it himself. This is why God says you must open this message within 5 seconds. This is why it feels urgent. This is why your heart is racing slightly as you read this. Heaven has been waiting for you to finally receive this truth. They needed your awareness to align with the breakthrough so that the physical manifestation of your blessings could begin. For so long you have been standing at the doorway of something powerful. But someone kept trying to close the door right before you stepped through. Someone didn't want you to see what was waiting for you. Someone didn't want you to realize how close you already were, how the spiritual verdict had already been leaning in your favor, how the angels had already surrounded your case like divine lawyers preparing to defend you. God says that what was done in the dark cannot remain hidden anymore. Heaven has decided that this is the season of revelations. This is the moment where your life begins shifting rapidly in ways that even you will struggle to comprehend. Archangel Michael is dancing because he watched you endure the pressure. He watched you stay kind when you were mistreated. He watched you remain loyal when people abandoned you. He watched you continue praying even when you felt your prayers were hitting a wall. He watched you forgive people who were secretly celebrating your pain. He watched you hold on to hope when every sign around you looked hopeless. And now, because of that resilience, because of that purity, because of that innocence in your heart, the heavens have declared that your season of suffering is over. God says the decision that has been made concerns multiple areas of your life, not just one. It concerns your relationships, your finances, your fate, your destiny, your protection, your voice, your future, and your emotional stability. Something has been unlocked all at once. Something that was frozen has been released. Something that had a spiritual hold on it has broken. Something that required angelic intervention has now shifted. The delay had a reason, but the acceleration will be even more shocking. Your case has reached its end. Do you understand what that means? Everything that was held against you, everything that was whispered about you, everything that was used to block your progress, everything that was manipulated behind your back, everything that was designed to make you doubt yourself, everything that attempted to make you feel unworthy, all of it has been rejected by God. The spiritual court has dismissed every accusation. Every attack, every curse, every evil intention sent toward your life. God has declared you innocent. God has declared you chosen. God has declared you protected. God has declared you restored, and this restoration is not symbolic. It is literal. Something you lost is coming back in a form even better than before. Something you cried over is being replaced with something that will make you cry again, but this time from joy, not pain. Something taken from you will be returned with interest. Something broken will be rebuilt with divine hands. Something denied will be approved in a way that shocks even you. You may feel a heavy warmth around your shoulders right now. That is Michael touching you, reassuring you, letting you know that this message is not imagination. This is not a coincidence. This is not luck. This is spiritual truth. God says the reason this message is confidential is because not everyone around you is ready to know what is happening in your life. Some people would rejoice, but some people would become jealous. Some people would congratulate, but some people would attempt to block you again. Some people would pray for you, but some people would question why you are receiving blessings they feel they deserve. So God kept it a secret, sealed it, and waited for the perfect moment to reveal it only to you.